Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Zoe. I am participating in the DCP this fall. I'm really excited because this is my second time doing it. I was really fortunate to be able to do character performer, which was my top role on my last DCP, and this time I wanted to do it again with one of my best friends, Lucy, and we wanted to go into this together and both be character performers because we both love acting, performing, and we just thought it'd be really special if we could both do it. So this video is kind of about the audition process and the steps that we took to be able to be cast and what all was involved in getting to that point. So I'll kind of go step by step and explain everything that we did and why we did it, and how you can do that too if you wanted to be a character performer also. So if you're watching this video, you've probably watched a few other videos about Disney auditions, and you may have heard the term animation. If you don't know what that is, it's basically charades, and essentially what that is telling a story with your body. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World and you meet the characters like Chip and Dale, Mickey and Minnie, they don't talk out loud. They connect with their guests and with other people by their physical movements and using their full body to really tell that story. What's going to happen in the audition is they're going to try and see how comfortable you are with movement and how you can use your body to tell a story. So they could give you a prompt that's, kind of crazy and wild. It could be, I've been to an audition where the prompt was you're baking a cake and then you're driving it to a party when all of a sudden you get a flat tire. Or you could get one about how you're a space ranger and you're on Mars, and then all of a sudden this cute little bunny comes by, but then it turns into an alien, and how would you react to that? So my advice for animation is really think about the story you're trying to tell, because that's the most important part. That's why people come and visit characters, and they want to be a part of their story. So what will happen is you'll get 1 minute to basically dance around, use your full body, use your facial expressions, and what I would suggest doing is breaking that into 3 pretty cohesive parts of your story and what you're trying to tell. So basically, if you are baking a cake, you want to think about, what would I do that would say this if you had no backstory and if you couldn't hear what I was saying. So you'd think about reaching all the different ingredients and you'd put it in and mix it together and, give it a taste test, something like that, and really exaggerate all of those movements. You want it to be crisp and clear, but you do want it to be big because as a character performer, you're larger than life. So when you're taking it in and out of the oven to bake the cake, you'll really exaggerate and get using all your levels and all that. Then you're waiting for the cake to bake and you're really hungry. Then you take it out. At this particular audition, I had no idea how to even change a tire, so I just guessed, and I thought about, maybe I'm rolling the tire or I'm using a wrench to get the tire off the car. I have no idea how to change a tire still, so in the moment you don't really have time to think about the technicalities, but think about how to communicate what you want to say to your audience. So if you want to practice this at home, maybe have a friend think of a scenario, and then they're going to put a 1 minute timer, and then they'll give you some kind of crazy situation. So you're kind of put on the spot a little bit and you have to think about those things. And then I would also recommend maybe videotaping yourself. That way you can see, how am I using my facials? Do I smile? Do I make ugly faces? Am I using all of my levels? Ask your friend too who's watching, could you tell what I was trying to say? Did you get that I was lifting the tire? Did you get that I was, trying to measure the sugar? Something like that. So animation is the most important thing because everyone's going to be using that skill in their job. Whether you're doing parades or any kind of character, you want to have that really good movement skill there. So don't worry about being perfect, just have fun and just keep going. Even if you get a little bit stuck in your mind, just keep going. Other big portion of the audition is the dance section, and that's really intimidating to a lot of people who don't have as much dance experience. I personally do have some background in dance, so it did come sort of naturally to me. I've been kind of rusty in college, but it's not as important as animation. I'd say focus as much of your energy as possible there. But with dance, you still want to have fun. You want to show the casting directors that you can move. You want to show that you are a performer. So I would definitely recommend taking some dance classes before going to this audition. It's really helpful to start thinking about this, you know, several months in advance to really give yourself enough time to get comfortable moving. Maybe take a class at college or some drop-in classes in jazz or hip hop or ballet and really get those foundations down. I would say if you have no experience with dance, it's okay because they expect people to come in with a lot of knowledge or a little bit of knowledge. There's really a full range, so they will walk you through it. However, it is going to be to your advantage if you go into this knowing some of the basics at least, like step ball change, grapevine, chassé, pirouette, some jazz squares. Those are all moves that were in our dance routine. And if you are not an amazing dancer, that's okay, but just having that knowledge of when they're explaining the routine, knowing, okay, I've practiced a pirouette, I know how to do that, or yeah, I already know how to do a jazz square. It's going to be a lot easier than trying to not only tackle how to do these moves on the spot, but then memorizing the routine is a whole nother thing you have to think about. So coming prepared is going to really help you out, even if you're not the best dancer. But at the end of the day, the most important thing, and I cannot stress this enough, the most important thing is to just have fun and not worry about messing up. Because if you're stressed out and you're getting frustrated over your steps, it's going to stress out the casting directors. But if you're just going with the flow, having fun, being okay with messing up and just having a good time, the casting directors are going to enjoy watching that even if it's not technically perfect. They just want to know that you're going to have fun. When guests come to Disney World, they're going to have fun with you. So make sure to let that shine in your audition. One of the first things Lucy and I started to do to get ready for auditions was about 4 months in advance. We started really getting serious about our fitness routine. We started going to the gym about 3 to 5 times a week, really depending on what was going on at the time, what our week looked like, but we really tried to be a support system to each other, and I think that was super, super helpful. Being a character performer is very physically demanding. It's very athletic. You're in really hot conditions on the job. You're really having to be able to withstand a lot on your body. If you're starting to work on that in advance, you're going to be really happy you did that if you do end up getting cast. You're also going to want to put your best foot forward to the casting directors. It is a really long audition. We only had about 40 people at the Seattle audition, and it still lasted, I think, about 4 hours, but there's some cities where hundreds of people come, so you really want to make sure that you're building up your stamina, because the last thing you do is audition, so you want to not get to that point and be exhausted and be really done, because that's really the part where it's your time to shine, and you want to be able to put that best foot forward for them. If you're ramping up your fitness, you're going to be demanding a lot more from your body, and of course you really have to take care of yourself and fuel your body accordingly. I had to decide for myself that this was a goal that really meant a lot to me, and I worked really hard to get to the place that I wanted to be. I had to cut out spaghetti, wine, cookies, and doing long-term bad habits like skipping breakfast was never going to do me any favors. Food is something that I struggle with personally to balance in my life, so definitely make sure to also cut yourself some slack if you're not perfect. You're never going to get where you want to be if you're punishing yourself for not being a perfect human being, because we're all human. And it's okay to indulge from time to time, but setting those goals to really be able to be your best self, like I already mentioned, and to do it in a healthy way is super important. I also worked with my doctor to make sure that I was taking care of myself while trying to accomplish these goals. I didn't want to push myself too far. I didn't want to take shortcuts. I wanted to really get to where I ended up in the healthiest way possible, and I'm really glad that I did because I feel so great about myself, and I know that long term, when I do end up working there, I'm still on the right track. Obviously, this is a dream job for so many people. It was a dream job for me, but your health does come first. The last thing that I'd say is being a really important step to getting towards that DCP audition is just being proud of yourself and going into it with a really good headspace. It's a role that a lot of people want, and casting directors have to choose from so many people, and it's a huge decision, and it really comes down to what their needs are at the time, what they have from the other people auditioning, and if you do end up getting that role, you should be so proud of yourself because that is a huge accomplishment. On the flip side, there are so many things that go into that casting decision that you should be proud of yourself no matter what. You put yourself out there, and that's something that's really hard to do a lot of the time. Beyond just showing up, just try to keep improving between each of those auditions, because if you do, you're gonna better yourself no matter what. And the last thing to think about is that you're gonna have so much fun no matter what your role is in the DCP, and you're still gonna have a chance to make friends, still gonna have a chance to enjoy your DCP, and you're still gonna be able to make magic. So that's something to be really proud about too. I hope these steps were helpful for you. I know I was really stressed out by my DCP audition, and if I helped you even to just relax those nerves a little bit, I hope that this video helped. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment. But next time you're at an audition, truly good luck. It's a lot of fun. It's really nerve-wracking, but you get to meet a lot of different people, make friends, and just feel like you're a little bit a part of the Disney magic in that entertainment department too. So I hope you enjoy the video. Feel free to subscribe to my page. Follow me on Instagram. It's also Zoe the Redhead.